Now this video is about what I consider one of the best deals in a full-size pistol under 300 US dollars. That is a full-size 9mm pistol from a reputable manufacturer that comes in under $300. This is the Witness, imported by EAA. It is the Tanfoglio, and this is the full-size small frame polymer version, as distinct from the Witness steel. And I think the most significant difference between both would be the grip size. Now, my primary objective in purchasing this pistol is for use at the range and also as a home defense pistol. So along that objective comes some specific criteria. I wanted it to be full size, meaning I wasn't interested in getting a compact size pistol. I wanted a pistol that would be somewhere about Glock 17 size. This one is actually 8.1 inch from the tip of the beaver tail to the tip of the barrel. I wanted it to be somewhere about 28 to 31 ounces. This one is actually 31 ounces with an empty magazine. So with a full magazine in the standard magazine that it comes with, 16 rounds, it weighs about 35 ounces. I needed that because I've discovered that having some weight to the pistol helps in managing recoil. I was also very curious about a hammer-fired pistol because so far I've only owned and fired striker-fired pistol. So I was curious about the advantages or disadvantages of a striker-fired pistol. I also wanted to ensure that the pistol did not cost me more than $300. I wanted to acquire a pistol from a reputable manufacturer that would see me paying less than $300. So I went online and started my search. Somewhere in August, I saw Classic Firearms with this one, and it was not the standard 270 to 325 that you see at most places. They had it for $250, and I jumped at the opportunity. I'd also been curious about what are the advantages of the slide running on the inside of the frame as against the outside. And I don't know if that gives a technical advantage, but from my shooting experience as an amateur that's fairly new to pistols, I think my accuracy shooting this pistol over anything else I've ever fired is significantly improved. It could also be as a result of the extended sight picture, because here you have a full 6 inches between the rear sight and the front sight, and that also helps, as I have discovered. Now, at $250 for a weapon of this quality manufacturing, of this caliber, I honestly don't believe there is a superior offer on the table in a brand new pistol. This is a polymer frame, 16 round, well crafted pistol made by a reputable manufacturer. Of course, you don't get a pistol for $250 with 2 rounds or two magazines or 3 magazines. This one came with one 16 round. I was able to acquire a Metgar mag, 17 rounds, $24. So far, if you should add it up, I'm at $274. And I think with 2 magazines at $274, that is still an incredible deal. So what are the things I like about this pistol? Possibly one of the most incredible things about this pistol is the ergonomics of this grip. I can hardly find a pistol that I have a good purchase on the grip. almost all the pistols that I've liked, my ability to grasp the grip is compromised. This grip was tailor-made for my size hands. I have very skinny hands and rather medium to short fingers. So a grip for me is all of what it's said to be, but I can never hold on to that pistol. So I'm able to wrap this pistol's grip to almost halfway around the opposite side of the grip. The curve here, well designed pistol. Now, though we say our pistols are for home defense, for most of our pistols' life or ownership, we're going to be using it on the range. Most of us hope we never have to use it for home defense. So for me, a pistol has to look good. I have to like taking up this pistol. I have to like the way it looks. And this one is a combination of everything I like in a pistol. Because a pistol is really art, you know. The manufacturers of pistols are people who create art in a firearm. This has a retro look. It has all the characteristics of the traditional 1911. It has a polymer frame. It has the traditional revolver hammer. And all in all, what you get here is a nice fusion between the old and the new in a modern, well-made pistol. I like the fact that this pistol has a grip that has sufficient native texture on it, that I don't have to purchase something to strip onto it to make it nice for me to shoot with. I don't have to do anything with this. This comes with good stippling on the front of the grip, good stippling on the side and on the rear. That beaver tail is absolutely incredible. When you hold this pistol and fire it, you see that the guys who made this know exactly what they're doing. Another thing I like, in general, I find a number of triggers very heavy. This pistol has an extremely light trigger in single action mode. I would say this is somewhere about 3.5 pounds. You're talking about as simple as this. That's it. There's not much more weight than that. 3.5 pounds. In double action, I think it's somewhere between 8 and 10 pounds, but smooth. Just look at that. Nice and smooth. So whether you choose to shoot in double action or single action, this pistol has a fantastic feel to it. A number of persons complain about the reset on their pistol, that it's too long. I also think if reset is a very important criteria for you, this one has a very short reset. So you fire, reset is reset. As short as that. That's the reset. This pistol comes with a safety. A number of persons don't like a safety on a gun. You can choose to keep it on or off. It's not easy to accidentally put this on. You got to put some effort in it. And it's fairly easy to take it off. However, with this very light trigger, with the hammer back, I feel very comfortable keeping this gun with the safety on. And as I mentioned, this is not a concealed carry, everyday carry pistol. This is a range pistol, a pistol I want to take on the range and put several thousand rounds through it. So for me, having a safety here is not a deal breaker. In fact, I like it. Now, quite often when you charge this around, the hammer comes back. That's what it does. So this safety allows the user to feel some level of security, because this trigger is very, very light with the hammer back. Some persons might also be concerned that this is not a decocker, so you have to learn how to decock the gun if you have a round chamber and the hammer is back, but you want to put it in double action mode. Well, my strategy for taking the hammer down with a round chambered is this. I hold the hammer back, I pull the trigger, and I gently let it down. Some persons believe they should be even more careful than that. Some persons do this, they hold the hammer like this, they pull the trigger, and they let it down, holding it with all three fingers, gently removing their index finger out of the way. Whichever option you use, it's very apparent that you have to be careful in doing that. Field stripping is a little bit different from a Glock or a M&P where you just pull a lever down. In this case, you actually have to do a little bit more, but I think it's still fairly easy, even for persons new to this. So you simply drop your mag. You need to line up these two dots together. So I find going like this, having them lined up, you take the magazine and you push that, you pull the spin out and you push it off without pulling the trigger. You've essentially field stripped this pistol. Another reason why I like this, it's a steel guide rod. It is not a polymer guide rod, and the guide rod is not captive. So for all intents and purposes, if the spring is no longer performing as it should, you could essentially replace it without having to change the whole unit. You notice too, the build, a stainless steel barrel, well manufactured, a smooth ramp. Take a look at the thickness of the barrel. A number of pistols that you pay kind of budget price for. When you get on the inside, you see why it's budget. Nothing about this pistol says budget. It is well made. Putting it back together is as easy as taking it down. You slide this in here, and there's a little notch right there that fits right in, so you can't be wrong. Putting it back together is a matter of accurately aligning the rail of the slide with the inner rail here. So it glides like this. And just like you did before, you line up those two holes. When they're aligned, you take this pin, you put it here, you put the other one there, and essentially you reassemble it. Pull it back, action is good, and you are ready to go. So even though it might appear difficult, it is very simple to field strip and clean your pistol and put it back together. So in terms of my established criteria for acquiring a pistol, all of them were met with the Witness Polymer small frame. I found a pistol that was well made, has good capacity, is fun to shoot on the range, has a really nice trigger. The ability to get things like magazine, you can get 17 rounds, 18 rounds, 19 rounds, because magazines that fit the CZ SP01 and CZ Shadow like this one actually works in here. The difference, however, is that it doesn't have that nice, well integrated look like this one does. So I am indeed enjoying my Witness full-size small frame 9mm hammer-fired pistol. Thanks for watching. See you next time.